So you mentioned the border and the crisis that we've been talking about for several months now, several years that have been going on. And now President Biden, 5 months before the election, comes through with this executive order. Does this executive order do anything to really solve the situation at the border?
Well, it doesn't solve it. Certainly it doesn't solve it. What President Biden has done is put himself in a position where he can now talk about it and say he has done something. But bottom line, I don't care what he throws out there in an executive order. It doesn't matter one iota unless he enforces it. And you will not see President Biden enforce this. So it gives political cover to Biden and the Democrats. They know they're in a very precarious position when it comes to an open border to our south. Republicans have the answers. President Donald Trump obviously had the border under control. We need him in office again so that we can actually control the border.
And obviously Iowa is not a border state, but you've come on our show before and talked about how every state now is a border state. What are you hearing from the people in your state? Why do they care so much about this border and the need for it to be secure?
Yes, I travel river to river every single year in Iowa, all 99 counties. And what I hear at my town halls, and I'm still hearing, immigration, inflation, top two issues. It matters. Fentanyl matters in Iowa. It's taking away our youth. It is killing them. It is destroying lives. With the trafficking of young human beings, how many hundreds of thousands of young people have been trafficked over the border, at least 80,000 that the administration cannot account for. So it is an issue to Iowans. They care very deeply about this. It impacts their daily lives. And President Biden, he's not going to do a darn thing about it. So we have to see changes.
So DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas was on ABC yesterday. He was asked about the impact that this executive order is having. Take a listen to his response.
What has the impact been? How many migrants have been turned away between those ports of entry?
Martha, we're at a very early stage. Implementation, as you noted, has just begun. Our intent is to really change the risk calculus of individuals before they leave their countries of origin and incentivize them to use the lawful pathways that we have made available to them and keep them out of the hands of exploitative smugglers. It's early. The signs are positive. Our personnel have done an extraordinary job in implementing a very big shift in how we operate on the southern border.
Right. So he was asked what the impact of the order has been. He was asked to give numbers. He couldn't do either of those things, which tells me there has been no impact.
Exactly. What I heard there was a lot of speak, but where is the action? We have to see that. This, again, has impacted everyday America's lives with the fentanyl crisis, with the human trafficking. We see weapons trafficking over the border as well. This is impacting families, and they are tired of it. They're tired of all the legalese that's being pumped out of the Biden administration to no avail, no effect, no change to the numbers that are coming across the border. Will this change before the election? Absolutely not. If you're not willing to enforce it, it's not going to change. But God bless those men and women that are working on the border. They're in our Border Patrol. They are trying to do the right thing. But you know what? This administration is not willing to back them up. And they are feeling the heat and the pressure.
Yeah, they're not getting the resources. We saw images just out of the San Diego sector this past weekend. You had one Border Patrol agent who was trying to control 200 migrants crossing. So yeah, they're not getting the help that they need, and they're not getting that support, as you mentioned, from the Biden administration.